Hey, Tommy. So I'm Joey Mayberry now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I put my hands in front of my face like it's a mask, I'm still Joey Mayberry, even if I don't wear a freaking mask. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened with Retribution this week. It's a brand new tops and bottoms. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, my name is Joey Mayberry. This is Tops and Bottoms. I'm the dad bod demigod, and guess who's with me? It's Tommy Purr. Hey, Tommy.
Without my mask, you might not recognize me. With my mask, I'm known as Circle Jerk in Retribution, and Joey is the infamous Rim Job. And although we
Give
know
you a licking.
and keep on ticking, oh
Till I
god,
get to sticking.
oh, you just had it was already tired, and then you added that last part, and then it was like it just veered off the edge.
Oh, my next one was going to be finger licking, so I'm glad you stopped me. Well, this is Tops and Bottoms, where Tommy Purr and I talk about what we liked and what we didn't like in the world of professional wrestling. We cover Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and AEW. Why? Because we love you, but we hate ourselves.
Yes, we are masochists of the highest variety.
So since we're going to talk about things that have pained us, let's go ahead and jump right into one of the most painful things I have ever watched, which was the opening to Monday Night Raw, where, again, Mace and T-Bar came out unmasked, to which commentary went, "What's a Dio Madden?" And it still drives me crazy every single time. But they came to the ring to have a tag team match against Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. But backstage, Braun Strowman said, "I don't like you, Drew McIntyre. I can beat both of these men myself." And then he went out to his horrible Becky Lynch impersonation entrance. Like, Lord. Okay. Strowman the Tank Engine went down to the ring, and he began a handicap match against Mace and T-Bar. They got the upper hand. Then Drew McIntyre runs down and decides to help him and have the tag team match. But then, after they win the match, they decide they don't like each other anymore. And, oh my God, why? Tommy, why? Why did this storyline happen? What is happening, Tommy?
I need to text John Laurinaitis and be like, "You guys are really making it hard to defend you these days." I have no reason. Before it was like, "Oh, we're just building up to WrestleMania. They're gonna get through it, and then they're gonna reset everything." I have no more excuses, guys. Don't look to me. The only excuse I have is I'm not writing Raw. That's why none of this shit makes any sense. Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre's relationship has more twists and turns than Heather Locklear fucking everyone on Melrose Place. This makes no
That's a
sense.
dated reference. I don't understand.
You're a fucking cock. So I'm gonna go leave now. If you know anyone who has suicidal thoughts, send them my way. We can join together. Anywho, it has more twists and turns than a fucking relationship in a soap opera, basically. We hate each other, we like each other, it's a handicap match. And then they in WWE promoted that Braun Strowman's the first wrestler in history in WWE or whatever to wrestle 3 matches. It was like a handicap, a tag, and a singles in one night. And I just wanted to scream, that's not something we should be celebrating.
Because no one asked for it.
Exactly. It's not like it's Asuka where we're like, yes, three Asuka matches, woo woo. No, it's 3 Braun Strowman matches that no one asked for.
I mean, okay, so who cares at this point? Who cares? So the whole Drew and Braun thing, we'll talk about it a bit later, but it came to a head in the main event because they're now fighting.
Let's talk about it now. Just join them together. Seriously, rip the Band-Aid off. Join them together.
Okay, so it ended the night with Drew versus Braun. Winner is going to, if Braun wins, he's added to the championship match at WrestleMania Backlash. Did you know it's called WrestleMania Backlash? I had no idea it was called WrestleMania Backlash.
No idea it was called WrestleMania Backlash.
No, what's that? It's exhausting at this point already. I'm just like, okay, I see you, Peacock. I know you want your clicks, but calm down. I just so we
Remember,
saw.
remember a long time ago when Jazz called it Blacklash because she was going to go defend her women's title, or Teddy Long called it Blacklash because. Can we do that? Can we do that instead? That'd be way cooler.
It'd be so much cooler because this wasn't cool. We saw Mace and T-Bar run down again and get involved in the match. They're not working with MVP. They're just, none of it makes sense. Make it make sense.
If at least if they were working with MVP it would make sense, but they've given no indication as to why they're targeting Drew McIntyre. All of this was a very long-winded attempt to get Braun Strowman in the title picture. His contract must be up soon, so this is their way of probably appeasing him. Who knows? I am happy that it's a triple threat at WrestleMania Backlash between Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman, because at least it's not the same recycled match. It is going to be a little bit different. Thank God. That is the only saving grace. But the rest of this makes no sense. I'm tired of trying to defend the writing team. I've tried. And
What do you mean it's recycled? We've literally watched these three men be put in so many different variations. That's the problem with Monday Night Raw is you keep having to watch the same ingredients get put together. It's like the Taco Bell menu. It's all the same food, just put together differently.
Well, yeah, you can only mix lettuce and beef so many times, okay?
And sometimes you just don't want fucking lettuce anymore. You're done.
And sometimes I just need the palate. Sometimes I need the roughage to make it go smoother,
Could you imagine if they went, oh, you're Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic again, and you're going to be thrust up into the main title picture? Whoa! That would be amazing. But no, you're Mason T-Bar, and you're going to be whipping posts just like we did. What was that old team that they had that tried to be they were
Laycore.
No, welcome to the wasteland.
Ascension.
That's them. Well, they're called Retribution now. So that's what they
Hold
are.
on. I have something more important than this conversation. I scored a Keith Lee chase for retail. Oh, I thought it was a toy that I wanted. I don't care. Moving on. Sorry, guys. I have my work page open over here, and sometimes my customers will be like, they'll send me like, hey, I found this in the wild. Do you need it? And I'm like, yes, pick it up for me. Thank you. And I'm like, okay, well, I already saw a Keith Lee chase in the wild. I don't care. Thank you.
Well, speaking of booing things, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which was the New Day and Damian Priest throwing tomatoes.
Starring in their own Tex Avery, Acme, Looney Tunes cartoon.
I don't know. They threw tomatoes at Ms. Morrison and Team Elias. And you know what I did notice, though? She was out there for the tomatoes.
Say that one more time. You froze on my end.
Oh, for the tomato bit, there was no Maurice. She was like, no, not one of my outfits.
Bitch was like, fuck no, that was not on my contract. I will sue. I will litigate. Smart on her. But yeah, I'm like Elias and Riker and then Ms. Morrison. Why this alliance? Why? No.
It seems like Elias and Riker are just kind of floating from person to person. They have no point.
Are they floating or are they drifting? Elias is the drifter,
I know. I'm just sorry. I had to stop because I hated what you said so much.
I hate myself. Does it help that no one hates me more than I hate myself?
Oh, that's so sweet.
You're fucking cock. Yeah, for those of you who are probably tuning in, yeah, we're not doing the Kim Possible timer today because we've had a very busy day. We're shooting the shit, and I think we really haven't talked this week. So, welcome as a catch up. Yeah, I didn't like this. What a waste of tomatoes. Like my mom could have used all that for her spaghetti sauce.
What's his face on commentary that just keeps making Rotten Tomatoes jokes, and I'm just like, dude. We got it. If you say 98% on Rotten Tomatoes one more time, like you tried to make the joke 3 times, it's like fetch. It's not going to happen.
I miss Michael Cole.
I miss anyone. You know who I miss? Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. You know who I also miss? Taz, because remember he wouldn't call the women, he wouldn't say puppies. He'd be like, tomatoes! Look at the tomatoes on that! Like this. I was like, oh, I miss Taz on commentary, which just became more apparent when you watch AEW and his commentary. But we'll get to that later. But moving on. This segment was bottom. This was a 0.2% on RottenTomatoes.com.
Thank you, Adnan Burke. Let's go now to Sonya Deville reinstating Charlotte Flair.
Daddy Deville, like, I feel a certain way. Like, I wish I was a lesbian with a tight neck and some perky tits, because I'd be like, Sonya, you know.
Can I tell you, I like the idea of Sonya partnering up with Charlotte Flair.
I love this, yes.
You know what I don't like? At least suspend her for 2 weeks.
I was like, this is the fastest suspension ever.
It took a week, and then
it was faster than my suspension of disbelief.
That was good. That was solid.
I had to make up for my drifter comment. I was like, God, I need a good joke. Lord, send me one. Anywho.
And he did, because that was good. That was golden. Great job, Tommy. You're welcome. So Sonya Deville reinstated Charlotte Flair. And you know what bothered me more than the suspension being so short?
What?
Adam Pearce getting like so mad. I mean, like, why are you always doing things like this? I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, she hasn't done anything since she joined you, period.
It really felt like we missed like 2 episodes. You know, when you like DVR the episodes, you're like, oh, I'll watch it later. And you're like, oh, what did I miss? It's Glee. What the fuck did I miss? And then you're like, what? Who? What? Did I miss something?
Yeah, like this seems like the first time she's done anything, like not even out of line. Like she's done anything.
And honestly, to be fair, in defense of Daddy DeVille, I work for the law offices of Mason T-Bar. Not Mace and T-Bar. Mason T-Bar, T.Bar. It's a law office. As her representation, she didn't do anything. She didn't come off heel. She goes, she apologized. She did fine. I am lifting the suspension. And it was kind of like, I know wrestling booking, there's going to be some shadiness going on here. But realistically on paper, she's not doing anything bad. You know?
Right. I'm hoping it leads to something. What really interested me was that she put her against Mandy Rose.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you, writing team, for at least acknowledging. And she says, you know what? And I pick you. And I was like, oh, there we go. There we go.
I love that. I thought that was wonderful. But then you got Mandy Rose trying to now babyface after you got her bullying Nia Jax earlier by dumping water on them. But we're not even going to talk about that freaking atrocity.
I want to say this to everyone too. I've noticed this a lot in Diva segments. Every time there's a bucket and they go to dump something on someone, no one has a good grip on the bucket. And every time they do it, the bucket goes flying at the person. It happened when they glitter bombed Vicky Guerrero. I think Gail Kim or one of the Bellas like glitter bombed her and it flew at Vicky. Same with the bucket of water. I know. I can't remember my quantum physics test, but I can remember this shit. And then like anytime there's a bucket, they always go to douse them and they lose it, and those buckets hurt.
Yes, they do.
I mean, fuck this bitch. Like Shayna should have beaten her ass. But you know what? Anyone who because Nia is such like a heat magnet and such a good heel that I don't think anyone's gonna get booed for making fun of Nia unless they cross the line and make fun of her weight like Alexa Bliss did when she was the heel. So
no, it's okay, so that was all we were going to talk about on Raw because we talked about Braun and Drew already. But just the writing on Raw for characters, no one has stayed congruent. No one. Not a wrestler, not a commentator, not a backstage personality. Everyone is all over the place week to week. And that's exhausting as a viewer. Like, no lie. How are you supposed to get invested in someone when you don't even know what they're going to be like week to week? Or even in Mandy Rose's case, segment to segment.
I mean, with Mandy Rose and Dana, though, Mandy was picked on first. So Mandy's just getting even. So for me, that's a little bit easier to be like, okay, well, I do the same thing, you know?
It was a month ago, though. She laughed at her once.
I know you slipped on the stage, bitch. Let it go. Like, and then you would think it was going to turn something heel until Sonya Deville goes, I pick you to face Charlotte. And I was like, oh, shit, man. But Sonya and Charlotte, I want to see that. I want to see that alliance. Or how funny would it be to see Charlotte, like, kind of like know that Sonya maybe has a crush on her and use that to her advantage? Like, how amazing.
Ooh.
That could be like the lesbian storyline we've been missing out on. She like plays into it, you know?
Yep.
So I'll be like,
Well, I don't want to talk about Raw anymore. It has frustrated me. I want to be done because even the stuff we didn't talk about, I'm like struggling to remember. I know RK Bro was a thing, but like Raw is exhausting. Talking about this show is honestly exhausting because I want to find good in what I watch.
The best thing, it's not offensive, it's just forgettable, which is almost worse. You know?
100% worse.
Yeah.
And some things are just irredeemable. Like I hate the fact, and Raw does it more than SmackDown does, even though you've got Dabba-Kato down there. Quit acting like we don't watch the products and that we don't know what you've presented us already. It drives me crazy because we watch it. We know it's a week-to-week story. We know who these people are.
But you know what? They've always done this. Like, oh, look, Chaz from the Headbangers, or Mosh from the Headbangers is now Eager Beaver. He's Beaver Cleavage. Oh, where's Beaver Cleavage from? You know, or like, who else? Who did we see trying to act like that Chelsea Green was not Megan Miller? Who's they've always done this. It's just kind of like when a TV show, and that's the thing. It's like WWE tries to present themselves as reality when in fact they're a soap opera, and soap operas do the same thing. Like wasn't that actor someone else's sister in like 4 seasons ago, and they were on the episode for once, but they brought them back, and now there's someone different, and yeah, it's just
understood. Well, let's go ahead and solve this once and for all. Raw, top to bottom. This show is a bottom. You guys are crazy. Well, let's go ahead and talk about AEW now. Let's transition to this week's Dynamite because you know what? I don't think that really there's any wrestling show besides NXT that's like hitting on all the right places to me. But when it's not Monday Night Raw, I'm instantly refreshed. So AEW is fine.
Yeah, even with like SmackDown, like even though it's in the same universe, it's like how come SmackDown you can watch, NXT you can watch, and Raw is just so like I almost vote that we just stop watching Raw and just watch Impact. Like I'm almost to that point.
I'm almost to that point, but if we didn't watch Raw and use it to our advantage, no one would watch this show, and we're barely clinging to anything right now.
You never know when to tune into WrestleMania Backlash.
Fuck off, Tommy. Let's talk about Dynamite. So, first thing we're going to talk about on Dynamite is the opening match, which was Brian Cage versus Adam Page, and alliteration going on there. And I like it.
Can I start with this?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're probably watching with me in mind because I was watching with bated breath. Like Brian Cage was hitting move for move for move and just knocking the shit out of Adam. And I literally was like, Adam's somehow going to win this match and they're going to just keep fucking making Brian lose. So imagine my elation and my shock when Brian Cage actually got to win and like won decisively. Because I was like, if Adam Page survives the pre-match beatdown with the rest of Cage's friends, he survived all these big fucking moves and then beats and didn't have much offense and somehow beats the Machine, I'm going to be so fucking pissed off because we all know where I stand with Brian Cage. I really think he should be one of the top guys.
Oh, 100%.
And so this made me happy, especially getting a decisive win over not a jobber. This was Adam fucking Page. So it's kind of like this
Who
helps.
is ranked number 1.
It's almost like they listened to me after, but it only took 2 fucking months. But
if they were listening to us, they would have already done what I needed them to do and make Kenny Omega versus Adam Page. That's the thing that drives me crazy about AEW is like they didn't book Kenny Omega and Adam Page. They haven't booked Sheeta versus Britt Baker yet. Y'all book the matches. You set them up. Book them.
You know what I'd say? I think honestly the rankings idea was good on paper. I honestly think they keep booking themselves into a corner. So like, well, we can't do this match. We have to like make the rankings count and make sense. And so it takes a little bit for them to, and I get it. You know, you want to stay consistent, put your ducks in a row, build up the rankings. But you know what? It's not really doing you any favors. It's
not. And it's honestly, the thing is both of the people that are the main contenders and the 2 people who need to go for the belts are ranked. They're up there. Why aren't you it's like you made this entire storyline that you just won't follow through with it. It's driving me nuts.
I almost feel like, are they scared? Like, you know, like it's right there. All the pieces are in place. And there might be something that we're not seeing as spectators on this end. Maybe they might be waiting for that one little piece, like to get someone under contract to show up. Or, you know, I don't know. But pull the trigger. Get it done.
Do something. But, you know, where we're looking for, like, the next big star, do you know who thinks they're the next big star? Why, it's commentary's own AEW's hottest free agent, whatever the hell that means, Miss Jade Cargill.
Well, like I said before we started filming, I think hottest free agent means, and they kind of pulled this with Randy Savage. When Randy debuted in WWF, everyone wanted to book him. All the managers were vying for him, and that's when Miss Elizabeth showed up. And it was like,
okay.
Oh. So hottest free agent, I think, means the hottest wrestler that's not represented by someone. And
not everyone needs a manager or a faction.
But this might mean that they're going to bring someone in. Like they're going to bring in a manager, which it's possible. I'm all for managers, but at the same time, there's not enough room right now for another personality when you use someone from within, you know? Sable, guys, no, not the diva, the cat.
But there's just not another person. And then let's talk about her promo real quick. Jade seems like, okay, I'm trying to think of a really articulated way to say this.
Okay, I speak hillbilly, so you say whatever you need to say, and then I'll translate into something more eloquent.
Well, she done went out there and said she done gonna. No, okay, so she's got all the intensity and all of the vibe for what she needs to say, but the words that she's saying just sound like I'm cutting a promo. It's
forced. There seems nothing natural. It seems like she's taking the words on paper and she's doing them literal. Instead of changing up that 1 or 2 words that would better fit what's coming out of her mouth. So say for instance, like, Tommy, I need you to say, I'm a big fan of Raw. I watch every night. Now, clearly we know this is bullshit, so I have to sell this, right? Does it make more sense for me to go, I'm a big fan of Raw. I watch it every night. Or does it seem more authentic when I go, yo, I fucking love Raw. I watch every chance I get. Take those words, spit them back out as your own. And that's all she needs to do is tweak 1 or 2 words.
Yeah, but also speak like a human, because I don't understand, a lot of wrestlers have this problem where they have to cut a promo like this and they have to speak in this way. And I'm like, talk like a normal human. That's who we relate to, are people that talk like humans.
Girl, most of the people we fucking work with on the indies aren't normal humans. So that's a lot to take it, you know, like.
But they still can't talk.
And
so,
DM guys, if you guys donate to our channel, I'll give names. Moving on, I like Jade Cargill, but I completely agree with what you said. Yes.
Yeah, so let's stay in the promo world and talk about the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle having a parlay.
Now that's how you cut promos.
It was so good.
Everyone
but
did.
What I have to do real quick.
What?
I invoked the right of parlay.
There was a lot that was good. Like it was about 13 minutes, but it was a good 13 minutes. Everyone I felt did really well. Even Santana and Ortiz. I was impressed with my baby daddy Cash Wheeler. Yes, so impressed. Let's see here. Like MJF knocked it out of the park. Chris Jericho, fucking fantastic. Really impressed with Sean Spears. Thank God he went back to dark hair. Thank you. Thank you. Sammy Guevara going, you've been a failure since you showed up, and you were a failure in the last place that you worked. I died. I went deceased. It was a good promo. I liked it.
It was all really good. Every character is just so well defined in though. Like all the people that need character definition need to look at the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, because even the people who aren't good at talking are clearly defined still. And it's so well done. All of these characters are so congruent. They come out and they kill it each and every time. You can't really fail when you put these guys in front of a camera.
I really feel that once MJF left the Inner Circle started looking like an actual cohesive. Like we have discussed this time and time again, what is Tommy's number one peeve? When tag teams and alliances and stuff, they don't look cohesive. Yes, I know, like the Dirty Dogs. Yes, you are a real tag team. I get it. You've been teaming for a while, but once they start looking cohesive, match of the year, combined entrance theme, actual tag team name, I'm like, okay, thank you. That's all I ask for. Unless it's something like Stone Cold and The Rock. You know, like unless it's two marquee names that can't possibly give up their identity.
Or they just mash them together and make something great like Rock and Sock Connection.
Rock and Sock Connection, you know, Brothers of Destruction, you know,
Latino Heat and Mamacita.
Mamacita and Latino Heat. And then Inner Circle just looks way more cohesive. And Pinnacle looks cohesive. And that's what I like, you know?
It was really good. I'm excited for Blood and Guts. This is like the big thing that I'm looking forward to on AEW right now, because
it'll probably take up the most of our next episode for sure.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, is that, and I mean, like, do I have your attention now?
I love her so much. I love it. I love it. But
I love that people are so fucking pressed. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, spoiler alert. We will talk about it next week with more depth, but Eva Marie is coming back officially. Those are her promos. I think she's coming back as a manager. People are so fucking pressed. They're so pissed off, and I love it.
I know you're going to love it. And also, we can talk afterward because I got the tea. I know what's going to happen.
Exciting.
So, moving on from that, let's talk about AEW's women's division, because Penelope Ford faced off against Chris Statlander in a match that is finally happening after the Arcade Anarchy confrontation, where literally Statlander pile drived Ford through a table. So finally they're having some sort of confrontation with each other. It only took, what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah, I think.
Which is exhausting. I love AEW, but good God, just give it a week or two and have the match, because especially when it's something like this.
Good God, get a booker, girl.
And that is the Booker T. So,
copywritten, trademarked by Tops and Bottoms LLC.
I need to file an LLC. I don't know what those letters mean, though. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this match.
Live, laugh, copyright. That's what it means.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You broke up. But Chris Statlander.
LLC means live, laugh, and copyright.
Oh. I've got to live.
Oh, my God. We need to stop. Anyways, moving on. We're losing viewers as we speak.
Yeah. Oh, no. We went from 30 to 20. So
2 of those were my mom's burner accounts. Anyways.
Oh, I love your mom. Well, This is why we're losing viewers, because I've been trying to say Chris Statlander for about 10 minutes. No, but Chris Statlander looks great coming back after her injury. I think she's probably one of the best talents in the AEW women's division. I think she's got her ish all together. This match I thought was pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts from it? I don't really have any like things to call out.
No, there was nothing offensive on my part, but also nothing. The most memorable thing is it's taken so long to do this match after the arcade match. So, you know, it's not going to be on like the greatest hits DVD, but you know, it's not going to be on Peacock. But I mean, it was a match, and I had nothing bad to say about it.
Well, cool. Well, let's not talk about it anymore. Let's move on to our next match, which was number 10 facing off against Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Why is that the only belt defended?
I don't know. I actually like berated my regular customers. He's like, he comes in, he's like, is that my favorite wrestler, Tommy Purr? I go, or he'll just be like, is that my favorite wrestler? I'm like, no, Kenny Omega doesn't work here. And I even asked, I go, why do you like Kenny Omega? Like the belt never really gets defended, you know, like,
No.
And like TNT basically is basically a TV title, isn't it? It's always defended on the TV programs.
I mean, so, it's a TV network title.
Pretty much. And it's great for prestige, but at this point, it almost has more prestige than.
Oh, 100%. Because it gets defended, and I'm invested in freaking Darby Allin defending it. I think he's been doing a great job, despite the fact that I don't really like Darby Allin that much. It's not that he's a bad performer. He's just not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But it is making me like him more and more, seeing him go out there and defend it. The only qualm I had with this whole thing was at the very end, it was Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky attacking again, which I'm like, come on, give us something. Give me a payoff for that.
Right. It's probably going to lead somewhere. It always does, but.
I don't know. It's AEW. It might not. It just might not.
I know. Like, listen, guys, Joey hires a hitman every week to come over with a gun, and they hold it to my head and force me to watch AEW for you guys. And I've noticed that maybe I have some Stockholm syndrome, but I'm actually being more and more like, leaning into the AEW. And I'm noticing that Joey is getting like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, oh, wow. I thought I was just being like, okay. But now I notice that like now with Raw, I'm like now I'm mad at Raw. And so but you're still mad at Raw too. So it's okay.
I'm still mad at Raw, but what I'm mad about is just if you're going to set up stories, finish them.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to claim to be the alternative to the other product that's out there, you need to do different than what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But this match was honestly really, really good. I'm still confused on exactly what the Dark Order is now, but I love them still.
Yeah. Okay. You know?
Yeah, there's kind of this faction, but they have so many good workers in it. My question is Tommy, who do you think is going to be the person to finally dethrone Darby Allin?
Sting.
I think so too. I'm not even gonna lie.
You know what? Sting. I think it'd make an interesting story, but
because I thought it was gonna be Ricky Starks, but it seems like that's kind of dying.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's not because it's like, oh, there's so many contenders. It could be anyone. It's literally like there's no really storyline leading in any way. So I have no idea how they're going to plan it.
It's going to be Ethan Page, but I don't know.
It could be Ethan Page with this current feud, or it could just be another long-running feud for Darby, and then he overcomes and beats him like they did with Brian Cage. But I would love just to see Jungle Boy take it. After his match with Darby, and I am a Jungle Boy stan, I would love to see Jungle Boy win it.
Oh, 100% agree with that. Well, since we've covered our interests from AEW this week, was it a top or a bottom show for you?
And I'm not saying this because, I had the nuzzle of a gun the barrel of a gun nuzzling the back of my head, forcing me to watch. It's a top.
Same here. I just enjoyed the show, and there's nothing really offensive about AEW. It's just a nice wrestling show.
Yeah. Although the open air was distracting with everyone's hair blowing and stuff, I was like, fix that. Get some gel.
I mean, you are wrestling out in the open in the dead ass of Florida, so I respect them for needing the air.
I couldn't. Like, God fucking bless them. I was like, I hate outdoor shows. I fucking hate outdoor shows. The noise never. That's why, like, on watching on TV is much different, because like you have the mics in the audience and it picks up the sound. But when you're wrestling outdoors, people, the sound travels up and it doesn't come down like a venue. So you have no idea, like, is the crowd into this shit? Like, what's going on? And you blow up faster. It's hot. It's humid. It's fucking gross. One time I had a bird shit on me in the middle of a match. That was fun. Yes, guys, I have been shit on in the middle of a match. Not just from the fans.
I was gonna make the joke if you didn't. Well, for the sake of time, let's move on to NXT and talk about what we saw there.
Top.
Well, total top. I already know. But the match that we have to start with is the opening contest, which was Dakota Kai taking on Mercedes Martinez. And, of course, Raquel Gonzalez was on the outside. Match ended with Raquel Gonzalez running in and attacking Mercedes Martinez. You know what? I don't know how invested I am just yet for Mercedes versus Raquel. It's kind of like the Sasha Bianca syndrome, where I'm like, you haven't sold me on the story yet, but I'm sold because I know it's going to be a great match.
You know the payoff will be worth it, but you like, dessert is at the end of the meal. You know it's gonna be good because it's mom's chocolate ganache cake. And yes, I'm speaking from experience. But you gotta get through this fucking salad, and you gotta get through this pot roast, and she made potatoes, and you don't eat potatoes. But it is your mother, so you're gonna go through it, you know?
Well, you know what? If Dakota Kai was a salad, I like the salad. I thought the
I
salad.
would toss that salad. Like, I love Dakota Kai. She's ever since she went heel on Tegan fucking Knox, I loved Dakota Kai. I love, like, this new aesthetic. I love her chemistry with Raquel. I love Raquel. And if you're on the indies, who doesn't love Mercedes Martinez? Like,
you can't not like her. And then also, Mercedes' gear game stepped
up. It's almost like it's like someone gave her notes and she listened. So
I guess so, or she just had the money now, wanted to invest. Either way, girl's on point.
You never know. Probably like, girl, you got this coming down the pipeline, and she's like, ooh, let me get some gear that helps, like, stand out for that stuff, you know.
But also, can I say one last thing about Raquel Gonzalez? Even though she wasn't the main focal point of this match, she looks good with that belt.
Raquel looks amazing with that belt. And when she first showed up, I didn't think she was going to. I honestly pegged Dakota as the one that tandem to take the belt. So what a nice surprise. What a good instance to be wrong. Because Raquel grew so much, and she's just so good.
The only thing that I hope does not happen is I don't want to see those two turn on each other.
Prepare for it. Prepare for the worst and pray for the best, because you just never know.
I know. My heart's saying no, but I know it's probably going to be a yes, just because, you know what I want? I want them in that tag team division on the main roster. I need it. I think they'd be great. But this match brought the intensity. The next match we're going to talk about brought everything else that I needed, because it was Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed. If Bronson wins, he goes up against Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Oh my God, I love Austin Theory. I think dumb himbo Austin Theory is one of my favorite characters on television. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, himbo all the way. I would love like him, Randy, and Matt Riddle. Ugh. Like RK him bro.
I don't need that. I just need Johnny and Austin. Those two play together so well. Ooh, that fantasy.
I
But they,
God, I would live so much if one day he just left Candace for Austin in storyline. Like I would live for that comedy.
I would live if they both did it and Candace went with Indy.
No, but we know Indy and Dexter. Like I ship them. Like, come
Hey,
on.
I mean,
Back to the match. Sorry, go ahead.
the match was so much fun. We saw Bronson Reed get the win. So it's going to be Bronson going up against Johnny. And I'm still a little bit pressed that it's not Dexter Loomis.
But like this could be just a way to like prolong Johnny and have him overcome Bronson while they stretch out Indy and Dexter, leading to Dexter eventually winning the title. And then or you never know, maybe Indy doesn't really like Dexter and this is all one big play to just keep him distracted.
I don't know, but we saw this week, was it this? No, it's today. Sorry, I'm giving spoilers, but there's flowers involved now. Dexter Loomis is interested.
I love that. I love that. I love that so much. Who wouldn't be Dexter Loomis? God. Sorry. We have a show. We have a show to do.
I know. But are you excited for Bronson versus Johnny?
Bronson's grown on me. He's like the perfect big guy. Like that guy moves. I'm like 1/4 his size, and I can't move half as well as he does. So
kudos to him, because I am a big boy and I can't do it. I could try. I could do my cardio for days. Ain't gonna work.
I lace my boots. I'm like, I'm blown.
Yes, you are. Well, I know that this next match we're going to talk about is going to be everything for you, because it was supposed to be the Robert Stone brand facing Shotzi and Ember, but the way attacked, and then after they attacked, the match didn't even get started. Robert Stone, Jessica Maya, and Aaliyah celebrated like they won the freaking Super Bowl.
Robert Stone. Oh, God. God bless him. He just he's so good. Like, we need him on the main brand managing a few of the divas, women's superstars.
I mean, the thing that he's doing with Jessie and Aaliyah, this whole ultimate underdog, never going to win a match type deal, I love it. And I love that they were just screaming, going, we're the #1 contenders. It's the best thing ever.
It's kind of like when Rosa Mendez was not one of the first divas eliminated in a battle royal. You're like, wow, okay, she won a match.
I think this is a push for her.
I said that to someone I was doing a historian thing, and when I'm still working on it, I go, have you noticed every battle royal where Rosa Mendez is in it, she's the first one eliminated every time? And someone's like, that's a lie. I go, no, I only found one where she was like the second one eliminated. But I go, Rosa Mendez, yeah. And she was like on Total Diva. She's like, I've never won a match. And I'm like, oh, Rosa, you're so sweet. Give the girl a win. Just let her beat someone, So, yeah. It's a win. It counts. It counts. But I love the Robert Stone brand. I really love this. And congratulations to Rob. His wife is pregnant with twins.
And I thought you were going to congratulate him on those diamond-crusted gloves, because those are still magic.
Well, his wife posted a photo he posted where she's puking in the toilet. And he has a sign that says, we're pregnant. And he's smiling. And the next one is him puking. And she has a sign with twins.
I know. I saw that. I showed it to Tyler, and he was like, "That's funny."
I'm like, don't they already have a set of twins? Like, that's a lot of kids.
Well, hopefully he gets some wins for Jessie and Aaliyah, so that paycheck goes,
hawk them $25,000 gloves.
That is a decision. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is Legado de Fantasma versus Kushida and MSK in the main event.
Top.
I don't have any notes. It's
all you gotta do is say those names. When you sent me the list, and you're like, we need to watch these things. I need your opinions. I was like, okay, so this was a good match. I don't even need to watch it.
Exactly. They were so good. And Kushida is growing into one of my favorite wrestlers, period. Hands down. And what's the weird thing is he's kind of like that Dean Malenko to me. Like, he doesn't do much or say much, but he comes to the ring with such charisma in what he does that I'm immediately invested.
I think for me, I get more of a Lance Storm vibe.
They're kind of one and the same, though. Let's be real.
So he's Asian Lance Storm. He's Asian Lance Malenko. Dean Storm. That would be a good name.
That is an NXT name. That is an NXT name if I have ever heard one.
Tommy Purr got signed. His name is Dean Storm. He'll be teaming with Joey Mayberry, now rebranded as Lance Malenko. I look more like a Dean. You do look more like a Lance, so it works.
Nope, we're going to be adopted brothers. I'm going to be Ken Storm, and you. It's the Storm Brothers.
Stop it!
There's a storm in the Thunderdome.
Oh God! Oh man! We are the hottest free agents in all of NXT.
This is not a costume. I wear this every day.
I know, for the Storm Brothers. Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through.
Ew.
I need to leave.
Well, we're almost done. It's time to move on to SmackDown.
No, I need to leave the planet. I can't believe I just said that live on the channel.
I'm going to segment it out and post it on Instagram for you. So you'll be all set. Just in time to talk about the worst opening promo that SmackDown has ever had. Wait, NXT, top, right?
It's like you don't know me.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's move on to SmackDown then, because like I said before, this opening promo for a 6-man tag team match. So basically they all came out and said, we want to be the ones that say welcome to SmackDown. And you know what got me the most out of this entire thing was just Michael Cole going, well, there's going to be a 6-person tag team match. I was like, let it build organically, Michael.
I was like, wow, okay, like, all right. But you know what? I'm kind of glad he said it, because then it wouldn't have made sense why everyone just came out back to back to back, like almost like a...
Well, if people want to come out and talk and say some things and talk and run their mouth, perfect. But can you not have Adam Pearce walk out and go, tag team match playa, like something?
Right? You know what I hated the most? I know, like, Bayley comes out and she just starts laughing at everyone until Bianca slaps the shit out of her. I'm like, okay, whatever. What I hated the most was, here we go with the Bianca booking, falling into that dangerous trope of the laughy, smiley baby face. Like, hey, everyone, welcome to No.
She was like, SmackDown's the bestest, greatest,
dopest, the coolest. That I'm like, oh girl, you can't even say it with a straight face. Like, I would have slipped. NXT is SmackDown is the dopest.
I mean, SmackDown's still better than Raw, but I think the one thing that was a highlight for you is Tommy Purr just discovered the Dirty Dogs theme music and he's for it.
I liked it. It was good. And then I have to thank the gods for the man that is Robert Roode. Like,
Daddy Rude?
Daddy Rude, crude, and wish he was nude. Like, let's go. Like, come on. I don't know who's more daddy, Sonya or Bobby. You know? Yeah. Listen, ladies, strap one on, each of you, and Bobby and all of you get turns on me. That's all I gotta say. Like,
wow, great job, Tommy.
I know. Like, Rhea.
I want you to make a shirt that says, "Ladies, strap one on."
Strap one on. I'm ready to get pegged.
Speaking of pegging, I'm going to peg these two women as the next women's tag team champions because Natalya and Tamina got a win over Nia and Shayna again, and they are the only consistent tag team that seems to be able to beat Nia and Shayna. So they have to be getting the belts, right?
It's WWE, so no.
I know it's bothering me so much.
But I'm like, this is you're finally getting some dividends on having hired Tamina, which is not her fault. It's clearly the booking. But you're finally getting people invested in her. It is now, and you never know when it's going. It could change once there's an audience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Capitalize on it. Capitalize on it.
Is driving me nuts is they keep kind of building these women together. But in every match, it's clear to see they have no chemistry with each other. Shayna and Natty, 100% do. But you throw all four of them together, it's such a hodgepodge match each and every time.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like an annoying mystery box. What am I gonna get?
Yeah, legitimately. And if you're gonna keep doing it, just have them take the belts, please. Bring someone else in. Let's do something different. But I don't need to see these four women anymore.
Yeah, they need to win it at WrestleMania Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash. Sorry, Backlash. It's me, Santina Marella. WrestleMania.
Ew, stop.
I just love doing the WrestleMania. So, not Tamina needs to win. Just do Nia versus Shayna because that's clearly what you want to do. And then you already have Nia and Shayna, and it can parlay into rotating them in and out of the main title picture. Yeah. So, yeah. And I think once they lose, Shania Payne goes back to Raw, right? They were Raw wrestlers?
They were Raw wrestlers. So
which will drastically help the title picture over there. Yeah.
Because Nia's entertaining. And
Nia, Rhea, Asuka, Shayna, and Becky's clearly going to go to SmackDown with Seth when she comes back. So, and then you have Alexa who's getting ready to come back to the women's division too. So it's kind of like, let's do it.
Let's do it. Hopefully something comes out of it. Maybe something will come out of this because the IC title thing. So the Intercontinental Championship match was Big E versus Apollo Crews for the 967,000th time. And as they were fighting, not Dabba-Kato gets involved. And then once he gets involved, Kevin Owens comes out and saves. Sami Zayn comes out, attacks Kevin Owens. And then Dabba-Kato attacks Sami Zayn. What is his actual name? Aziz attacks Sami Zayn.
God bless you. It was just your face and that little sigh that Aziz, God bless you.
But legitimately, what did this do for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Why are they getting involved in this? What is happening?
Oh, I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it pretty much is. Also, if we want to ask a real question, a legitimized question, the Nigerian nail. What do we think of the Nigerian nail?
I could have sworn I already discussed this last week when I said, unless it's Umaga doing the Samoan spike, I don't fucking like this finisher.
We did discuss that. I remember it. And you know what? I forgot about it because I'm so bored with the Nigerian nail.
Ugh. I hate how he sells it. I hate his ill-fitting outfit. Hold on, my roommate ordered food. Hold on one second.
Ooh. Oh, what kind of food did you get?
Oh, he ordered food, and the gate code goes directly to my phone, so I had to like buzz them in. So, okay. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead. Keep talking. I had to text him and let him know his food's here.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and we already know we don't like this storyline, and we're about to hit our hour. So let's just talk about the main event, because the main event for freaking Friday Night Smackdown, career versus title, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, was the best TV match this year.
And it didn't need like a cage. It didn't need all the theatrics. It was really good.
Yeah, it was so good. And those two worked seamlessly.
I honestly was shocked by the ending.
Really?
Oh, you're welcome. I was shocked by the ending because I honestly thought that Daniel Bryan was going to get another shot at the title.
I thought so too. Do you think this is the end for Daniel Bryan, or do you think something's going to happen? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
He could show up to Raw, or they could have something where Adam Pearce gets involved. I know that's their favorite loophole. I honestly think they could be like, we need him on Raw. Like, we need Daniel Bryan on Raw, because I honestly think that's the only way to salvage this fucking, no pun intended, train wreck going on with Braun Strowman and Drew and Bobby Lashley.
Something. I wouldn't mind Daniel Bryan going to Raw and shaking things up, but he did say he was on his way out, and he did have his WrestleMania main event match. So maybe
I didn't think he was leaving until around SummerSlam.
Okay, we'll see. That's about it. We'll see.
I don't see, because he's bowing out on his own and retiring. They're going to give Daniel Bryan a proper send-off.
I hope so, but I mean, honestly, if this was the last match you had, way to go out.
Yeah,
go out.
I do love that it built up Cesaro. Like, he's building up Cesaro without having to face Cesaro. Like, that's his friend, and he tried to save him. I'm really looking forward to the roof coming off of whatever venue this is at when Cesaro wins that belt.
I can't wait to see him win it, because at this point, it just clear as day reads that Cesaro is getting that belt because he needs it.
He has to. That's the shakeup. You know, like, it was gag worthy that Edge and Daniel did not win the belt at Mania. And if it was so we could deliberately, WWE finally giving us what we wanted, and it's Cesaro being the main guy. And it's not the Universal belt, it's the WWE belt, right? I always confuse.
No, it's the Universal.
Yeah, so it's like, bro, yes, fucking about time, you know?
Right. Well, that was the Smackdown main event. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up for the sake of time real quick by asking the world famous question, which is, Tommy Purr, what was your number one top moment this week?
Oh, I thought we were going to say verse, bottom, or top for this.
Oh, for SmackDown, top.
Top, I'll give it top because the main event saved it.
The main event saved everything, because it was a bad episode of SmackDown, but with that match on the card,
yeah,
top.
The opening sucked ass. So the main event saved it, which kudos to Roman. He's hitting his stride so well. I love it. What was my top moment of the week? I will say Bryan Cage getting a decisive, definitive fucking victory over a top-ranked AEW guy. I think he deserves it. I'm so happy it's finally happening. And watch next week, they just undo the whole fucking thing. My bottom moment of the week. The fans. Just the fans. People are just so, no one's happy with anything anymore. Like, you know, I understand critiquing, but I saw it with AEW, I saw it with Impact, I saw it with WWE, and just toxicity, and just everyone, we critique shit and we armchair book, but we still watch because it's an escape thing. People like, this person should be fired. Fuck, you got rid of the Iconics, but you kept this person. Who are you to say who doesn't deserve a job and who does? Like, that's still someone that's going to make a livelihood. Shut the fuck up. I've so had it. Yeah, it sucks. Billy and Peyton and Mickey are gone. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
And they could always come back. Shut up. That's it. The fans are my bottom part of the week.
Wow. Well, my top is definitely the SmackDown main event, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And my bottom is that opening SmackDown promo. That was such a bad promo.
It was. But you know what? We don't know what they said behind the scenes. Like, they're probably like, we got to go do what? Because Bianca's promos are a lot better. That opening felt so forced. So it was kind of like,
I have no idea what they were going for, but Lord.
Now, my question of the week. Who deserves the Eddie Kingston Award for MVP of the week?
The Eddie Kingston Award, for those who don't know, is the person that tried so hard to save what they were doing.
And succeeded or even failed, but tried.
My Eddie Kingston Award this week is Sonya Deville. I believe Sonya Deville is worthy of the Eddie Kingston Award this year.
I like that. She's one of my selections too. I think mine would have to be. Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, too many things either went just completely wrong or completely right this week.
Exactly, like the Pinnacle versus Inner Circle parlay is exactly how I anticipated going, so I wasn't disappointed at all. Who surprised me the most and who like really saved? You know what? I will say like the MVP, honestly, probably Roman and Daniel Bryan and Cesaro for that main event and stuff because that saved SmackDown.
Valid.
I'll go with that. Although a close second would be getting to see Chris Statlander come back after injury, and I was impressed. You know, a solid match. It wasn't like one of the greatest hits, but it was a good showing. So, and I like her little gimmick that she's got going. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we hit our hour perfectly on the dot.
I was worried we weren't going to. That was really good.
I know. Look at us go. Well, before we hop off of here, if you liked this podcast, if you enjoyed listening to us rant about wrestling and being the gayest people that you ever heard in your entire freaking life, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Follow us on whatever podcast you're listening to. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, like, and watch us whenever we do things because we're wonderful. Tommy Purr, where can the people find you across the internet?
Twitter at rareform, RAWR_form. Facebook at facebook.com/officiallyperfect, and Instagram at _man_diva. And if you'd like to purchase some merchandise, storefrontier.com/merchandise. Now, some of you have contacted me. There are different cuts and styles for each shirt. So you have to click on the shirt, and then you have to click on where it says unisex tee, and it will drop down and give you other selections like my favorite, tank tops. So go ahead and check that out. $7 from every sale gets sent to me personally, and Store Frontier is really easy for you. If you are an indie wrestler or an artist or whomever, you can set up your own store for free and upload your images. It's a great, great site.
That was such a good little plug. That was so sweet.
Oh, thank you. They didn't ask me to. I do really like working with them. So
I love that. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joey_Mayberry, Joey.Mayberry on TikTok. Also, check out Ring the Bell, where I'm hosting Ring the Bell Live each and every Saturday. And coming up soon, you can find me on the renewed Golden Era podcast alongside Jake Smith. This is going to be a lot of fun. And if you're looking for something funny looking, Wacky Arm Stacy Keebler is here for you, everyone. Hope you enjoy it.
And they have never reused that body mold ever again. It was only for Stacy Keebler. So you go, Ms. Keebler.
I love it. I hope everyone that was listening to this as audio enjoyed that image that you can't see. We'll see you next week when we talk about more wrestling. We love you all. Goodbye.
Bye.